Thank all you guys for coming today. This is about the class, not me. Hi, my name is Eric Bushy, and I am the president of the class of 2010. I was born in Fayetteville, North Carolina, not Winooski, Vermont. During my time at Winooski, I have been class president every year possible, senior football captain, and part of numerous other activities in my school and my community. Most of these kids have gone to school with each other since elementary school, but I have not. I was an outsider to this class and community, but they have both taken me in as one of their own. I'm very proud to represent this class and community, and I hope I have done it well. Even though I'm returning to North Carolina in less than a month, I know in my heart I will always have a home in Winooski. The class of 2010 is like no other. We are a family among families. We fight like brothers and sisters, but throughout high school, we have always had each other's backs. And we would like to thank our advisors, Mr. Weichert, Mr. Webb, Mr. Argraves, Miss Mellon, Miss Vallon, and Mrs. James for putting up with all of our nonsense the last 4 years, especially this year during our senior meetings. But looking back at it, I'm not sure if meeting is the right word to use. Shouting match or heated debate is more accurate. Our meetings match the intensity of those of the Congress during the debate of healthcare. And sometimes I'd rather have been Barack Obama than the president of this class. Keeping peace is not always the easiest thing to do in a room full of leaders, but that is what made us great. A class full of leaders is truly what we are, and we have shown this in our school, our community, and our country. Our class has worked hard in the development and evolution of Winooski High School. We have helped make this school a school for the kids, by the kids. Our bi-monthly meeting, known as community meeting, is entirely student-driven now. We have witnessed this change. We drove this change. 2 years ago, during the inaugural community meeting, it was run by Mr. Litterer and put together by Mrs. Lynch. This year, it was run by representatives of our class. It is put together by student council, which was also transformed to include more student participation with help from this class and a lot of the hard work from Ms. Courtney Paquette. Members of this class have been to numerous school board meetings and were part of the Budget Advisory Committee for the 2007-2008 school season. As a class, we have also participated in our community by having multiple students work hard in our community through community service. As a class, we have gone above and beyond to make this school and Winooski a better place. In my eyes, our crowning achievement as a class is our hard work for breast cancer research and awareness. Our senior cheerleaders started off by wearing pink ribbons during our senior football game in October for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. They gave the football players ribbons as well, not realizing that our head coach's sister was battling with this disease. The senior ball players and cheerleaders continued wearing the pink ribbons during the month of October in support of Coach and his family. This tradition was continued by our senior cheerleaders and girls basketball team in the winter, and during the spring, I continued this tradition as well by wearing pink ribbon on both my cleats and my glove. I am pleased to announce that Coach's sister is officially cancer-free and is one of the many inspirations for our class to continue working in this field. Through a partnership with Allen Landscaping, a business started by our very own entrepreneur, Nevin Leary, and the class of 2010, we created t-shirts where all the proceeds and $2 per shirt were donated by Allen Landscaping to the Susan G. Komen Foundation. The senior class also donated all of its remaining funds from their account to the Susan G. Komen Foundation donation. The Friends of Winooski High School has also helped in this donation. This donation that we are presenting today, it has accumulated to $1,000. In memory of the work we have put in, we have created a pink ribbon on this stage with the handprints of the members of this excellent class. We hope to be a class to be remembered not for our heated debates, but for our outstanding hard work and dedication to our school, community, and our country. Will Ann Janeway please join me on stage at this point? We created this check.
Yes, thank you so much for, I represent the Susan G. Komen Foundation, and our office covers the state of Vermont and New Hampshire. We give out at least 5 grants just in this area alone. So I am tremendously humbled by this wonderful gift, and we salute any survivors out there and the great spirit of this class that put forth their hard work and shared the awareness. So we hope we'll see you at some of our other events, but really I'm very humbled to be here, and what a terrific group of students.
We will have the check in the mail next week. And can we have one more round of applause for all the faculty, parents, friends, and everyone that has came to support this class. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you, Eric. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Nevin Leary, and I'm the Student Body Executive President for 2009 and 2010. Several weeks ago, my dad recited to me a quote that I will always remember. He said, "All you need to do to fly is hurl yourself towards the ground and miss." Now, I know what you're all thinking, and yes, I admit to experiencing the same perplexity as well. But let's all just take a second to think about the true power and truth that lies behind this quote. All you need to do to fly is hurl yourself towards the ground and miss. We all know how easy it is to fail, how close the ground is beneath our feet. And the last moments of the crucial game, when staying up long nights to finish that final project, or while persevering through life's many hardships to reach our goals, each and every one of us in this class knows the feeling of overwhelming stress, frustration, and exhaustion. These feelings constantly nag us to give up, to throw in the towel, to take the easy road. It's never easy to fly, nor is it to succeed. However, it's at these pivotal moments in our lives when we realize who we really are. This is when we have to decide for ourselves whether to fly or to fall. And it's at these times when we've pulled together and succeeded as individuals and as a class. From the bottom of my heart, I know that each and every one of us has the inner drive to succeed. For the many years I've known my peers, the peers of 2010, I have seen great strides, true heart, dedication, and leadership like no other that has brought us to new heights, allowing us to make a difference in our school and in our community. In our endeavors through high school, we have experienced some of the greatest challenges. We know the feeling of struggle, of copious, arduous work. We have seen the good and the bad, the dark and the light. We have failed and succeeded. But in the end, we must always remember how far we've come and the distance we still have to go. All we have to do is keep flying.
Hello, everybody. My name is Cadence Murray, and I have been in choir and piano for most of my high school career. So for today, I have written and composed a piece that we're going to perform for you. So can Sarah Dezatels and Emily Sikorsky please join me by the piano?
Good afternoon. I am honored to be with you today to present the 2010 Robert E. Landry Award. When I was asked to present this award, I felt this would provide an excellent opportunity for me to express my thanks and that of the entire community to an incredible, dedicated public servant. I'm not going to attempt to conceal the identity of this year's recipient, nor am I going to immediately announce this person's name. However, it should not take anyone long to recognize who this year's recipient may be. 26 years ago, the halls in the Winooski School District came alive with the sound of music. And so began a love affair between a gifted man, his passion, and his students. He arrived in Winooski as a relatively new teacher with a marvelous gift, a lifelong gift to share, and that gift was music. Recently, I watched a musical program on PBS. As I watched and listened to the harmonious perfection, I realized the range of emotion that music can invoke in all of us. My love of music was a gift given to me by a teacher in elementary and high school. His name was Morris Vilmer, and I remember him to this day. The teacher that taught me Latin, well, that's another story. While thinking of Morris, my thoughts turned to Steve, and I realized that in the decades to come, thousands of former students whose lives he has touched will have fond memories of this gentle man and the lifelong gift he has given them. In 2003, Steve accepted the challenge as principal of Winooski High School, embarking on a new and exciting journey and ultimately serving as superintendent for the Winooski School District. In the years that I have been assigned to the Winooski School District, I have come to understand the unique sacrifice and dedication required to become a teacher. I have come to understand Steve Perkins. Steve became a leader of teachers, and he did so for the children. Everything he did while here was for the children, the community, and in doing so, it brought him great pleasure and satisfaction. I am honored to have been a witness to the legacy he has created. The greatest testament to success and respect must come freely and unsolicited. I have been a witness to this numerous times as students would listen intently as they were being gently guided in the right direction. I would hear them say, "Mr. Perkins is fair. I can trust him." I will miss him. The school will miss him. His students will miss him. I am honored to present the 2010 Robert E. Landry Award to a teacher, a mentor, and my friend, Steve Perkins. For the lives you have touched, I express my sincere thanks and gratitude.
It'll be hard to follow this one.
Kind of hard to follow that one, but it's not about me, it's about the students and the community. Welcome friends, relatives, neighbors, board members, distinguished guests on the podium with me today, Coach Brennan, Superintendent Martineau, and President of the Board of Trustees, Jay Lambert. And I also need to mention the person who directs me in the right direction during these things, Mrs. Green. Welcome all. I'd like to introduce this year's salutatorian, and could we please have Emily Sikorsky.
This is my last graduation speech ever. Of course, it's also my first graduation speech ever. For the past year, we have been counting down, marking each event as it occurred, as if we had a checklist to complete before this day. It started off jokingly. One of us would say, "This is my last first Green Day ever," or "This is my last first day of school ever," making fun of it almost. We were recognizing that it was a special day, but the end was still far enough away so that it didn't seem like such a big deal. Over time, these marks got to last spring concert, or last midterms in high school, and eventually it has come to last class of high school, last day of exams, and last high school graduation ever. So this is my last graduation speech ever. It is my last time in this school as a student. As soon as I walk across this stage, diploma in hand, I am no longer a part of this community, this place that has been a safe haven, a family, and a home for most of my life. To me, this school wasn't always the friendly, welcoming, advanced, and accepting place that I see it as now. I first moved here in 3rd grade, reluctant to go into a 4th school within 2 years. I remember the first person I talked to in Mrs. Benjamin's class, Caitlin. She was a very good friend to me, and I began to like the school, even though, due to its initials, we all referred to the JFK school as Jail for Kids. When the time came to move up to middle school, I was terrified. I was frightened because it felt like moving all over again, because my friends would not be going up with me. We would all be going our separate ways, put into different classes with new, older kids. In middle school, I did not say a single word to anyone, and slowly I became more reserved. In high school, however, I found the place where I truly felt like I belonged. People I had not truly, really sat down and talked to since elementary school, like Caitlin, Katie, Colin, Jordan, Sarah, and many, many others resurfaced. I began to open up to the world a little more, trusting in my classmates, who I know now would never have abandoned me. Over time, we have come to be more than a class. Although it is expected that such a small class knows each other by sight, we also know each other by sound, by our fears, our hopes, our dreams, and our secrets. We all take the time to listen and to learn. Our school is a very special place because of these people. We're the people who started the elementary school yearbook with Mrs. Getz, the ones who started high school plays again with Ms. London and later Mr. Colt. We're the ones who made sure our opinions were heard at all times, the ones who coordinated things, the ones who ran community meetings and kept people in line, and who stand here today ready to move on into the world. We are a unique class. This is a place where I feel not only that I am allowed to be myself, but where I am encouraged to be myself. Through these past 4 years, I've confided in my classmates more and more as I gradually began to realize just how important this time was. This wasn't just another step in life. This was the beginning of the end. To me, every year when the seniors moved on, it seemed as if we were all taking a step closer to the edge of a cliff, and those people seemed to disappear. Each year brought us closer to the end, and so I began to treasure the people I had more and more. I've learned so much about each person here, and however infrequently we have talked, I've shared something special with each of you, whether a lunch table conversation with Caitlin's camera running, a conflict in your or my own life, an inside joke, or just a smile and wave as we passed each other in the hall. We are closer than the following classes because many of us have gone to school together for many years, and because our school is the way it is, new people are accepted into the family very quickly. Even people who have moved here within the past 4 years have found a place in our class without differentiation. It doesn't matter whether a person has been here for 1 year, 4, or even all 13. We are all a part of this family. And so, as I stand here today, trying my best to sound like a confident, dignified young adult ready to take the next step into the real world and our lives, I am proud to have come from Winooski High School. I cannot stand here and offer advice because I haven't stepped over the cliff yet. I can't use a cliche because they cannot begin to express our class. And I cannot describe our class because we're more than we seem. Beyond the test scores, the newspaper clippings, the physical appearance, or what you may see in our classrooms, there's a secret part of Winooski that only those special enough to be a part of it can see. We are a class, a community, friends with both ourselves and our teachers. We are smart, talented, and dedicated. Now, as our chapter in this school is almost through, I realize that it is not a cliff that we are approaching. It is a path, one where we are free to make our own choices, knowing that we will always have what we found here: community, friends, and a home.
Thank you, Emily. It's now my pleasure to introduce the valedictorian of this year's class, Lauren Graves. Well done.
All right. A wise man once said, "Hard work and dedication is why I'm here today." That man shall remain nameless, but what he said can be related to all of us. As you all know, I am the valedictorian, but that doesn't mean that the people sitting behind me didn't work as hard as me or weren't as dedicated as I was. I feel that they are the lucky ones in this case. I mean, as valedictorian, I am the one that people look to for answers, the one people glare at when I don't understand something simple or I do something stupid. People give you that look like, "You're the valedictorian," and then there comes the whole speaking at graduation. That is what scared me the most. I would rather spend a year doing calculus problems than have to speak to a crowd of people, but here I am. And here we all are on a special day for everyone, the day that many of us have been waiting for since the first day we walked into high school. These 4 years have blown by. I can remember freshman orientation day when it was only a bunch of nervous freshmen walking around to get acquainted with our one hallway before all the big, scary upperclassmen came in. That was the first day that we all met the teachers we would soon get to know very well over the next 4 years. I can say that there has been one teacher with whom I've had in multiple classes for all 4 years. This teacher I've come to know very well, and she always goes above and beyond to help anyone she can. Whether it was babying me through my resume, helping me write a $750 business plan, making me do things that were outside of my bubble, or just being there to talk to. Ms. Paquette is one of the greatest teachers I've had the pleasure to meet and work with, and I don't think I would be in this position today without her. So thanks, Ms. Paquette. Now it is time to take a look at the present. Not only to look at my accomplishments, but to praise everyone's accomplishments. We have done it. We are graduating, and this has to be one of the happiest days of our lives. Each and every one of us is receiving that piece of paper we have spent 180 days a year, 7 hours a day, and 4 years working for. In total hours, we have spent 5,040 hours in this high school. For most of us, more than that if we include sports and other events. Based on minimum wage without any taxes taken out, this diploma is worth $40,622.40. Based on the 12 years we have been in school, that number would increase to $121,867.20. Finally, my job as valedictorian is to inspire all of us graduates for the future. I feel like we as a whole are a group of go-getters. Whatever it may be we want, we get. And my inspiration is this: do what makes you happy. Life in some cases is too short, and you have to live for now, not 20 years from now. At some point, you will have to live for 20 years from now, but we are young, and in life we can all make mistakes. So make them now and buckle down later. Also remember that goodbyes are not forever, goodbyes are not the end. They simply mean I miss you until we meet again. We may be saying goodbye to Winooski High School, but we aren't saying goodbye to each other. I wish all of you luck in your future endeavors and hope to see you again. Congratulations to the class of 2010, and thank you.
for my class. As they make their way to the stage, one more round of applause for them, please. Good job, guys. Good job. Good thing I wasn't mic'd up back there. So our next speaker, I went to lunch with him 2 weeks ago, I believe. And he bought me lunch, so he's a friend of mine for life. But during lunch, he told me that he was a player at the University of Georgia, but by the way he's wiping his brow, it looks more like he's a Yankee to me. But that's just a little Southern humor right there. But for real, our next speaker was the UVM basketball coach for 19 years, I believe. He led UVM to its only tournament victory by defeating Syracuse in overtime. Which, by the way, was the same year the Tar Heels won it. He is also the winningest coach in UVM basketball history. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Coach Tom Brennan.
I did take him to lunch, and you know, I'd rather clothe him than feed him if I had my choice, right?
Coach, 147.
147, okay, what's 15 minutes, 2:02?
Yeah.
Okay, at 2:02, you stand up and say, Coach, that's it, you're done, all right?
I stand up.
Because you know what, and I hate to do this in front of you, because at least it's not hot, right? I've done a lot of these in my day, and I never had one person say to me, hey, why didn't you talk more? All right, so I know the deal. Nobody's here to see me. I will get in and out. But I do have to say this. I do believe that I am going to take that 15 minutes because although I'm certainly not the smartest guy in the room, I know that for sure, I am wise. Been around a long time and seen a lot of things come and go. And I think I have some things that if you listen and pay attention to, that they can help you. I really do believe that. A couple of housekeeping items to get out of the way. First of all, I would like to compliment the class on the research, breast cancer awareness research, and mention that I went pink for you today, and not many 61-year-old pop-pops can pull off pink and seersucker, but I think I'm doing all right. I also would like to mention that my wife and I are going to make a contribution to the American Cancer Society in the name of the class of 2010 at Winooski High School, and we really appreciate what you're doing. And the last thing before I get rolling is it would be remiss if I didn't lead the charge in re-thanking Mr. Perkins for all he's done for the 26 years that he's been here. Once again, Mr. Perkins, we're going to miss you. I know I speak for everybody else. Great job. Really appreciate it. And you know, as Peter Sincotti says in his song, I love this town. Winooski has been so very good to me. I've loved Winooski. I got here in 1986. It reminds me so much of my hometown in New Jersey, Phillipsburg, New Jersey. Very, very many similarities. And one of the first people that I ever met here when I got here was Dr. Randy Miller, a Winooski guy who's now a dentist, very, very successful. And the one thing that I was taken with as I got to know Randy was how much he cared about where he was from, how much pride he had in where he came from. Winooski High School, the people of Winooski. Then I got to meet people. I got to meet people in this area, in this town, and in this city. And I understood it. I understood why. And you know what was really kind of neat? As I take the common thread from as these young people were talking today, they all talked about each other. They all talked about us. They all talked about how we are going to do these things. And that is really, really neat. And I commend you as a community for the outreach and bringing in people from all over the world here. And for you people that are here, welcome and embrace us. Embrace this community, much like this senior class has done. And you know what? I talk again about Randy Miller. No, he doesn't live here, because his compound is bigger than the city of Winooski. So we're not going to fault a guy for being successful, are we? We're going to knock him for that. But I always knew, he and his lovely wife, Mary Jo, they're givers. You always root for people to be successful. They're givers. They're not takers. And that leads to me my first point to the class of 2010. Basically, if you think about it, the only real difference between adults and children are that children are takers and adults are givers. And now you come over to our side. You join us. And we're glad to have you. We really are. We really are glad to have you. And one reason we're really glad to have you is because of the values and the character that you bring, just from what I hear from the people that we're talking today and performing. So that's a wonderful thing. And if you want to go away, please be my guest. Go away. But take Winooski with you. Take Winooski High School with you. And understand that hard work in and of itself is virtuous. Everything you do. You know, and that gets me to my second point, is that life is not fair. You just really have to understand that going in. Life is not fair. In the last 10 years of my life, I have done nothing but fall up. I ain't fallen down one time. It's unbelievable. Had an ice cream named after me from Ben & Jerry's. Had my own song when I came out for the games. Sports Illustrated came and did a big story on us. ESPN did a whole feature that I can just show my grandchildren about that magical year. Just put it in a DVD and show them what happened. I mean, it's been unbelievable. I heard somebody say, I was at the bakery yesterday, and they said, oh, we're going to see Kiss next week. I'm not Kiss, Fish. We're going to see Fish next week. And I thought to myself, you know what? That reminds me. Our last championship game, the week before we beat Syracuse, Fish sang the national anthem at our gym. And not only did they do that, but as they finished, Paige McConnell comes over to me and says, hey, Coach, can you get me Taylor Coppenrath's number? I need to call him. So, you know, it's been crazy. The whole thing was crazy. But, you know, when I was at Yale in 1984, it was my first head coaching job, we were playing Penn and Princeton on a back-to-back weekend. And on Friday night, we played Penn, and on Saturday, we played Princeton. And on Friday night, we won on a tip-in at the buzzer. And we had never beaten both of them on the same weekend. So you imagine how pumped I was for Saturday, man. I was really, really fired up. But what happened was, as we were getting ready to prepare, we're in the gym in the morning going through our stuff, and a guy comes up to me and says, Coach, can I see you for a second? And I said, sure, what's up? And he said, I need to talk to you. So I walked over, and he said, you know, your folks were on their way last night to Virginia to see your sister play. My sister is now the coach at Middlebury College. She was a great player at Virginia Tech back in her day. And there was an accident on the way, and your father was killed. Boom, like that. And your father was killed. And the first emotion that came to me, the first thing that came out of my mind was, I need 10 more minutes. I need 10 more minutes to tell him how much I loved him and how proud I was of him and how proud I hoped he was of me. But I didn't get it. I didn't get it. And you know why? Because life's not fair. And so you should never, never pass up an opportunity to tell the people that you care about how much you care about them. And I used to make my guys once a week when I was coaching in Vermont, I'd make them call somebody who helped them get there. Just call them. And this is another thing, too. When you don't call somebody for a while or don't write somebody for a while, you just think, no, I can't do it. It's been too long. It's never been too long. The minute you do it, the clock goes right back to zero, and you start all over again. Okay? And I think that it's really, so now what happens is my mother really blossomed after my father passed away, and 15 years later, she met a guy named Joe. My dad was called Joe, so we called this guy New Joe. And so she met this guy, and unfortunately, she was on her way to a convention with him, and ironically, they stopped in Baltimore to pick up a friend of his. She got in the back seat, the guy ran the red light and killed her. It's like, and I can remember being at the funeral home, 16 years apart, same spot, greeting many of the same people, thinking, yo, God, didn't get to the office today, huh? How could this be? How could this happen? But hey, it can happen because life is not fair. And you really, really have to know that going in. And I did tell her so many more times, thank God, how much I cared about her and how much she meant to me. But still, you know, all the success we had, all the beautiful things, they weren't there. They missed it, you know? So you just know that the people that are successful, trust me here, are the ones that understand that life at its very best is a series of ups and downs. And the people that are successful are the people that get off the floor and understand that. Okay, it's really important. The second thing I'm going to talk about is sense of humor. It's extremely important to keep your sense of humor. You know, and I was 8 and 50. That was the thing. I used to sit on that set at ESPN, honest to God, and think to myself, you won 8 games your first 2 years, and now you're an expert analyst. Go figure, huh? So, but the fact is, I was at a Rite Aid right out by my house out in Colchester, and this little old lady was coming out of the Rite Aid, and she had a walker. And she had to be 70, 80, I don't know. She was an old woman, right? And the doors kind of go in and out, and her walker was kind of messing with the doors, you know. So she was getting a little flustered, and so I was the one coming in. She was coming out, and I said to her, hey, you just take your time. There's nobody here in any hurry. And she went, thank you. You could tell that she was relieved. And she went, oh my God, you're Tom Brennan. And I said, yes, as a matter of fact, I am. Who are you? And she said, I'm Rose somebody and something or other. And I said, well, Rose, it's nice to meet you. And she said, do you live out here? I said, yes, ma'am, I do. I live right out on the lake, very lucky, very blessed. And she said, how long you been here? I said, 10 years. And she said, you know what? We really miss you as our coach. And I said, you know what, Rose? That's really sweet of you to say that. And then without skipping a beat, she said, but I got to say, they're trucking right along without you, ain't they? Like I was never there, girlfriend, like I was never there. And the other thing, 2 more things. One is don't ever, ever, ever stop dreaming. You know, we won our first championship. I was 53 years old. You know, and I almost quit because I thought I was having some memory problems, and I got some help for it, and everything turned around. Never, never, never stop believing. I remember when my kid, Brian, my son Brian, was 8 years old, I took him on a road trip over to Canisius and Niagara over in western New York. And, you know, we had lost 16 games in a row as we headed out for the trip. This was my second year. And what happens is, as we get there, he's having a great time. He's 8 years old. He's jumping up around. He's on an airplane. He's in a hotel. He couldn't be happier. Win, lose, don't matter to him whatsoever, right? So we lose the first night up in Buffalo, and we come back up in Niagara. Now we come back toward Buffalo to practice, and now our losing streak is up to 17 in a row. And what happens is he's in the gym running around, and he said, Dad, watch this, watch. And he runs, and the guy picks him up, and he dunks the ball, and he lands, and he goes, you know, just like that. And it irritated the hell out of me, I got to tell you the truth. I just, you know, and I said to him, you know what, sport? That's make-believe, man. That's make-believe. When you can do that, okay, then you come to me and show me that you can do that. Not when you can make believe you do it. Now, look at me. I'm killing an 8-year-old because I lost 17 games in a row, right? Like it's his fault. So he don't bat an eye. He says to me, hey, Dad, you know, you were the one that told me that if you don't have dreams, they can't come true. And it was like getting hit in the stomach with a stick. I'm thinking to myself, oh, this is great. This is just great. You've lost 17 in a row. Now you're getting life lessons from an 8-year-old. I'll bet the University of Vermont is just saying, where did we find this gem? How did we fortunate enough to get this guy? Well, as fate would have it, 8 years later, my son was a good enough player that he was invited to an all-star game. They had a dunk contest at the all-star game. You know what? He won it. And you know why? Because if you don't have dreams, they can't come true. And let me just say finally, I'll give you one ESPN story. When I was down there working, a guy named Will Ferrell, you all know Will Ferrell, of course. Well, I think Will Ferrell sucks, okay? And I don't think he's funny. I don't think his movies are any good. You know, I just think he's a nitwit. So what happens is now Will Ferrell is in town to promote his new ABA movie. I don't know what, but it was a basketball movie, right? So what happened at ESPN my last year, it was when the economy sank and everybody was austerity, and I didn't have. They used to bring us food. Like if you were on set, if you were somewhere doing a show, the cafeteria was so far away. ESPN is like a college campus. You can't even imagine how big it is. But if you don't have enough break in your time, you can't go get anything to eat because you just don't have time. You got to be back on the set and ready to do your show. So they used to bring us food. For the first 3 years there, they brought us food. But the 4th year, they stopped that because they were cutting costs, like everybody was. So what happens is somebody said, oh, Will Ferrell's here today. Oh, no kidding, what for? Oh, he's promoting this movie. Oh, good, okay. I care, I don't like Will Ferrell, never liked him. You know, so it don't make any difference to me. So now I leave my set where I am, and I go to what they call the green room, where you wait, you know, and you're going to different places to do your shows. And I get in the green room, and there's this really shungy, funky-looking guy there, you know, just sitting there with his feet up, and like he owns the joint, never been there before. And, but next to him is a whole pile of food that they give in those trays. You know, like you get at the Lions Club or whatever it is, the lasagnas and whatever it might be. So I go in there with my friend Gottlieb, who I was working with, and I said to Gottlieb, oh, hey, they brought food. And the Shungi guy says, that's for Will. That's for Will. Oh, is it? Is it? I can't wait to see Will. I'm going to smack him in the back of the head, then I'm going to take his lasagna. How about that? Okay? So now what happens is, as fate would have it, Will comes down the row with 3 or 4 other hangers on, as you might expect, all right? So now he walks in, and when he walks in, my boy Gottlieb jumps him and says, hey, Will, Doug Gottlieb. I went to the same high school as you in Southern California. Man, I love all your stuff. You know, I wish you would have used me in that movie. I'm a basketball player. I could have. And you could see that Will was getting a little, you know, like when somebody gets up in your space and you really don't want him there. He was kind of backing up a little bit. And all of a sudden, he looked over Gottlieb's shoulder and he went, hey, Tommy Brandon, I saw your team beat Syracuse. Man, hell of a job. Hey, Will. Oh, boy. And love your movies. Honest to God, I cry. I can't believe it, how much I get off on Will Ferrell movies, you know? But the point of the story is, very, very simply, is this, okay? My mama used to tell me this all the time, and it's so gospel true, is that no matter what you do, no matter where you go, no matter how successful you may be, or whatever good things happen to you, people will remember you for one thing, and that one thing is how you made them feel. And think about it in your life. You know, I see Mrs. Miller here. She was one of my indoctrinees with the bucket theory. You know, my thing is that you either make somebody's day better, you either give them something, or you take something away. And we called it filling buckets. And when I was coaching, I always tried to fill people's buckets. I always tried to make them feel better. And I found that people would perform way better when they were treated well. I found that out, and it was very, very true. And I would like to say thank you to the gentleman up on the top row in the Army Fatigues for what you do. You allow us to do what we do and take it for granted. Thank you very much. And in closing, I would like to leave the class of 2010. I would like to lead you out onto the streets of Winooski, just like I led my team out for 19 years out of Patrick Gym, with these few words. Hey, I know you're ready. I'm rooting like hell for you. Let's go see what they got. Congratulations to the class of 2010. Be healthy and well, and thank you very much for having me.
Rumor has it it's getting a little warm in here. But we certainly won't shortchange any of the awards and the significance of graduation at Winooski today. We will move forward. I will try to be succinct. But before I do want to make sure that I take a moment to mention the musicians and Mr. Argraves for helping us out today, and Mrs. Mander Adams. Thank you. Sometimes when we're in a hurry to get to the end, we forget some very significant things. So I really appreciate them being here today. We now move on to the awards, and here we go. We have been asked to explain the honor regalia worn by graduates. Blue and gold cords signify the International Thespian Society. Gold cords signify honor students. White and blue stoles signify the National Honor Society. Before awarding the graduate scholarships and awards, it's important for us to recognize the recipient of the St. Michael's College Green Mountain Scholarship. This year's recipient is Emily Sikorsky. Please stand up, Emily. And we would also like to recognize the recipient of the University of Vermont's Green and Gold Scholarship. This year's recipient is Lauren Graves. Job well done. 2010 graduation scholarships and awards as presented. The Samuel Samuelson Memorial Award is presented to the student who has shown the greatest desire for learning during the 4 years of high school. The recipient of the Samuel Samuelson Memorial Award for this year, 2010, is Thomas O'Neill. Class of 2003 Scholarship. The Class of 2003 Scholarship, co-sponsored by Dollars for Scholars, is presented to a senior who has demonstrated dedication to his or her class and exhibited genuine care and respect for Winooski High School. The 2010 recipient of the Class of 2003 Scholarship is Rachel Orelli. Winooski's Eagle Scholarship is presented to a deserving student continuing his or her education. The 2010 recipient of the Eagle Scholarship is Kyle Chaplin. The Service Scholarship, sponsored by Dollars for Scholars, is awarded to a student who volunteers dependable and well-organized assistance within the school and/or within the community. The 2010 recipient of the Service Scholarship is Michelle Richer. The Maida F. Townsend Scholarship, sponsored by Dollars for Scholars, is given to a student who has demonstrated a love of learning and openness to the richness of difference among people and a willingness to use his or her time and talent in service to others. The 2010 recipient of the Maida F. Townsend Scholarship is Colin Turner. The VFW Community Services Award is presented to 2 graduates in recognition of outstanding community service. The 2010 recipients of the VFW Community Service Award are Megan Russell and Nevin Leary. The Academic Scholarships, co-sponsored by Dollars for Scholars, is presented to 2 students who excel academically. The 2010 recipients of the Academic Scholarships are Lauren Graves and Emily Sikorsky. Student Council Scholarship. The Student Council Scholarship, co-sponsored by Dollars for Scholars, is presented to a student who has made notable contributions to bettering WHS, who has served his or her community, who is active in school activities, and who handles responsibilities willingly and efficiently. The 2010 recipient of the Student Council Scholarship is Courtney Trosher. Board of School Directors Award. These awards, co-sponsored by Dollars for Scholars, are presented to 2 graduates who have shown the most improvement during their 4 years of high school. The 2010 recipients of the Board of School Directors Award are Musab Ali and Elizabeth Billings. The Woody and Susan Martell Scholarship, co-sponsored by Dollars for Scholars, is presented to a student with financial need who is pursuing higher education and who has participated in athletics, attained good grades, and been a good school and community citizen. The 2010 recipient of the Woody and Susan Martell Scholarship is Yasmin Turdish. The Winooski Education Association Scholarship is presented to an individual entering the field of education in recognition of exceptional contributions to school activities and all-around excellence in academics. The 2010 recipient of the Winooski Education Scholarship is Erica Jarvis. The Vermont Honor Scholarship, initiated by the Vermont legislature, is presented to the student with an outstanding academic achievement going on to college. The 2010 recipient of the Vermont Honor Scholarship is Rachel Orelli. The Winooski Business Department Scholarship is awarded to students who have excelled in business classes and are pursuing a degree in business or a related field. Recipients will have demonstrated a desire to learn about business by challenging themselves to learn beyond the classroom and contributing their knowledge to class discussions. The scholarship is paid for by fundraisers done in Winooski High School School of Business. Actually, it should be School Business Department. The 2010 recipient for the Winooski Business Department Scholarship are Tu Fong, Lauren Graves, and Courtney Trosher. The Challenge Scholarship, sponsored by Dollars for Scholars, is presented to a well-rounded, highly motivated student in the top 25% of the graduating class who has overcome obstacles in achieving his or her success. The 2010 recipient of the Challenge Scholarship is Mulao Dang. The PTO Scholarship, co-sponsored by Dollars for Scholars, is presented to a student who is pursuing a career in education and who has displayed community involvement through school or work experience. The 2010 recipient for the PTO Scholarship is Eric Bushy. The Friends of Winooski Scholarship, co-sponsored by Dollars for Scholars, is given to two students who have shown an overall commitment to and involvement with the high school in a multiple and varying ways. The 2010 recipients of the Friends of Winooski Scholarship are Rachel Orelli and Caitlin Lepan. Al's French Fries Scholarship. Al's French Fries Scholarship, co-sponsored by Dollars for Scholars, is presented to a graduate with financial need planning on a 4-year post-secondary program. The 2010 recipient of the Al's French Fries Scholarship is Sarah Desatel. The Linda L. Gelinas Memorial Scholarship, sponsored by the Gelinas family and co-sponsored by Dollars for Scholars, is awarded to a student who is interested in pursuing a 4-year degree in nursing or education, who has been involved in the community and who has demonstrated a strong sense of leadership skills. The 2010 recipient of the Linda L. Gelinas Scholarship is Bridget LaFond. Given by the Krasnow family in memory of Gerald Krasnow, teacher and guidance counselor at Winooski High School from 1973 to 1998. The Jerry Krasnow Memorial Award is given this year to 4 graduates who plan to continue their education at accredited post-secondary institutions and have shown a commitment to community service, have demonstrated ability to overcome personal challenges with an upbeat, optimistic attitude and/or sense of humor about life in general. The 2010 recipients of the Jerry Krasnow Memorial Award are Caitlin Lepan, Colin Turner, Rachel Orelli, and Mulao Dang. Keep them coming. Okay. Thank you. The Carol L. Kessler RN Memorial Award is presented to a student or students who are in the upper 25% of the senior class and who have demonstrated a love of life, acted as role models or mentors to peers, and who preferably are intending to continue their education at any accredited post-secondary institution to pursue a career in healthcare or related field. The 2010 recipient of the Carol L. Kessler RN Memorial Award is Mukhtar Mohammed. Leadership Scholarship, sponsored by Dollars for Scholars, is given to a student who has demonstrated outstanding leadership qualities and exemplified positive attitudes. The 2010 recipient of the Leadership Scholarship is Nevin Leary. The Part-Time Scholarship, sponsored by Dollars for Scholars, is awarded to 2 students in the top 25% of the senior class who have financial need and a dedication to pursue a post-secondary degree on a part-time basis. The 2010 recipients of the part-time scholarships are Thomas O'Neill and Mulal Dang. The Roussel Flahive Scholarship is awarded to a deserving student who is representative of the Winooski experience, having been a longtime member of the Winooski school community. The 2010 recipient for the Roussel Flahive Scholarship is Katie Murray. John J. Malkowski Community Service Scholarship is given to a deserving student who has participated actively in community service. The 2010 recipient of the John J. Malkowski Community Service Scholarship is Courtney Trosher. Winooski Booster Scholarship. The Winooski Booster Club Scholarship awards 4 athletes who participated in sports throughout their high school, especially their senior year, and demonstrated outstanding leadership qualities on and off the playing field. The 2010 recipients of the Winooski Booster Scholarship are Bridget LaFawn, Kyle Chaplin, Yasmin Turich, and Courtney Trosher. The Mayor and City Council Scholarships, co-sponsored by the Dollars for Scholars, are presented to 1 male and 1 female student who have shown the most improvement over the 4 years of high school. The 2010 recipient of the Mayor and City Council Scholarships are Erica Jarvis and Tu Fong. This concludes the presentation of scholarships and awards to the class of 2010. Can we have a round of applause, please, for everyone? We now move on to that part in the program that everyone's been waiting for. Some for 4 years, some for 5 years. People have walked great distances, come from many different lifestyles to a great community called Winooski, Vermont, where all are welcome and all are treated fairly. So it's now time to graduate yet one more class of Winooski High School. These folks will do well as they go out into the community, into the nation and the world, as classes have in the past. We welcome this opportunity to have this graduation ceremony at this time. Could I have Superintendent Martineau and President Lambert please join me on the stage? All right, here we go. I will read the names as the folks go across, get their diplomas, and recycle back. We are a green town. I'll continue on. Mohammed Omar Ali. Musab G. Ali. Kyle E. Aruza. Rachel Ann O'Reilly. Eric Robert Ballard. Elizabeth Ann Billings. Kyle Scott Burbo. Eric William Donald Bushy. Jessica Lillian Chamberlain. Kyle Richard Edward Chaplin. Mulal Garang Dang. Sarah Renee Desatel. Jordan Lee Lamphere DeRocher. Amanda Louise Dion. Chelsea Forrester. Lauren Ashley Graves. Brian Scott Hamlin. Robert John Heald. Erica Lynn Jarvis. Baze I. Kusango. Bridget Ann LaFond. Caitlin Eileen Lapan. Nevin Shane Leary. Jamie Marie Lowry. James Andrew Manning. Mukhtar Ali Mohammed. Cadence Isabel Murray. Michael Muddy. Wellington Newton. Tui Tai Tan Nguyen. Thomas R. O'Neill. Tu Tian Huang Fong. Corey Frank Primo. Michelle Lynn Richer. Jessica Ross. Megan Lee Russell. Michael R. L. Scherer. Emily Ann Sikorsky. Courtney A. J. Trosher. Jian T. Mai Trong. Yasmin Turich. Colin Michael Turner. Jeffrey A. Whalen. Jeremy C. White. Can we now please have a round of applause for all the graduates? It's now my honor on behalf of the Winooski School District and the state of Vermont to present the Winooski class of 2010. Could we have the graduates hurry along, please? People on this side of the hall, if you would please exit through those doors. Yet another surprise in the life of a Winooski administrator. Please exit through that door over there. Please exit through the doors here, outside. This half this way, this half this way. Thank you. Could we use 2 sets of doors over here, please? 2 sets of doors. Move along, please. I know that people want photos, but could you please take those outside?